All right, everybody, welcome in. How you doing? This is a little podcasty. I wanted to take a look at 2023 moving forward to get a sense of what's going to be going on and do a little bit of a postmortem for 2022. Some of you have had great years. Some of you have had terrible years. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a lot in between there. What I'm getting, because obviously people who have great years are really talking about it. People who've had lousy years are really talking about it. If you've just had a meh year, it's not really a topic of conversation, right? It's like not something that you're like, hey, listen, I've had a really boring year. I want to tell you all about it. But 2023, I want to talk about what's going to be going on and give you kind of the lay of the land so you can plan. Okay, that's the purpose of this video, is to say, hey, we are going to have these transits, we're going to have these retrogrades in 2023, and how might I approach this? So I might even pull a card or two for some of the retrogrades, just be like, what's my best approach to this energy? All right. So 2022 was the year of the right sizing. Okay. So 2021 was a year of extreme highs and lows. We were in the throes of COVID, and a lot of us were still hunkering down. That was the year when people first started to move out of that. And there was a lot of people, for example, a lot of people watching digital content that moved away from that in 2022 out into the world. And in 2022, there was like revenge travel going on, right? Like, I did 2 of my bucket list travel items: Vancouver, British Columbia, which was divine, and just back from France, which was also awesome. I guess I can check Germany off my list, because the part of France we were in used to be Germany, France, Germany, then France again, then Germany, then France again. So had a lot of German culture too, so I could check that off my bucket list as well. But as we're moving into 2023, I feel like this year promises a lot of growth and possibilities, because if you have this 2021 year, which was like, woo, either huge or terrible, and then you had this 2020 year, like 2022, like this year of right sizing things. So the people who had terrible years in 2021 might have felt better in 2022. 2021 for people who had awesome years might have felt worse. Okay. So there's this feeling of right sizing going on. And now that we've kind of come to some kind of, comfortable spot, let's look forward into 2023, more growth, more change, more possibilities. All right. So I do feel like it's all in how you look at it. Perspective is such an underrated skill. Okay. How you look at things gives them definition. How you talk about things gives them their qualities, right? Like, I could talk about 2021 in glowing terms, 2022, not so much. But if I'm looking through the lens of possibilities, hey, 2022 might have offered more than 2021. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're looking back right now as we move into 2023 and you're like, okay, what can I expect of 2023? What can I do differently in 2023? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to give you a few things to look at and pay attention to for 2023. I will talk about some full moons and new moons and some retrogrades and things like that. The first thing I want to say to you is, at the end of December 2022, we have our 4th Mercury retrograde going on. It's Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Okay. So that really is about meaning what you say and saying what you mean. Okay. And so don't be blowing a lot of smoke. Really be more as honest as you can possibly be without being brittle or strident or shrill. Okay. Because Mercury is so fast. Capricorn is a lot more circumspect. So if you've got something to say it. But do the work of knowing what you're talking about. Capricorn is about doing the work, right? So do the work so that you can use the energy of Mercury retrograde meaning, retrogrades to me are a lot about internal stuff too. So are you internally talking rough to yourself? Are you internally being the taskmaster and pushing yourself? Are you saying nasty things to yourself? Or are you saying things that are constructive? Because that's the positive energy of Capricorn, is really being constructive. The beginning of this year, so that Mercury in retrograde starts December 29th of 2022. So it's still a 2022 thing, but it's going to be in retrograde until, I believe, January 18th. Okay, so 20 days or so for that. At the same time, Mars is still in Gemini in retrograde. And we also still have Uranus, I think, in retrograde. Mars and Mercury in retrograde, okay? Mars in Gemini and and Mercury in Capricorn. So you can see like a slow start to the year. So a lot of times we get all excited about, doing new things and really going for it and all that stuff. I'm going to say that 2023 is going to be off to a slow start. But don't get down on it. 2023 for me is a year of empowerment, of using tarot and astrology for empowerment to manifest clarity, okay? And if you know that, okay, Mars is in retrograde in Gemini, that means that's about communication too. That's also about my thinking, and it's about not being able to take action on my thinking quite yet. Mercury in Capricorn retrograde, what I just said to you about mean what you say and say what you mean. There is a slow start in January, but it's not going to even last the whole month of January. So don't really be too worried. I do feel like if you really have a project to start, or you're really wanting to do it, I feel like being super methodical and doing your research is going to be the best use of that time. So Mercury is in Capricorn retrograde until the 18th of January. And I do think, Mars is in retrograde until the 12th of January in 2023. And that's, obviously in Gemini. So just know that by month's end, things are going to even out. February is going to feel better. Not much going on in February, but that Mars in Gemini retrograde and Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn and retrograde are both going to be big deals in terms of kind of slowing your roll. You might feel like you have like the brakes on and you're trying to drive. There might, like a metaphor of that, obviously. So just know, all right, just know that as we move into 2023, there might be that feeling. Things are good. Things get good from between March and May. Okay. So in March, we have Pluto moving into Aquarius. And that means any inequalities are going to be smashed. Pluto moving into Aquarius out of Capricorn. Pluto is going to dance between Capricorn and Aquarius for 2023. And then in 2024, Pluto is going to be full on. It might even be the end of, I'll look at Pluto here. Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius, goes back into Capricorn until October, and then in Capricorn, right? So for the year of 2023, with Pluto, we're dancing between Capricorn, which is the energy of Pluto, transformation through hard work, versus transformation through innovation, which is Aquarius. So just know from March, through the rest of the year, we're going to have this kind of dance back and forth. So you can use that energy, Pluto retrograde, or Pluto moving into Aquarius, March 23rd, you can start to see that you can put energy behind things that are more innovative, as opposed to when Pluto is still in Capricorn. It might be about towing the line, doing the things in a traditional way, doing the things the way you've always done them, making a big switch in 2023 into something more adaptive, more progressive, less about hierarchy, more about service, more about dedication, in the sense of you matter as much as the work you're doing for other people. So a lot of it doing work for ourselves. Aquarius energy is about all of us, right? The collective. the collective getting benefit from your transformation. So you might be wobbling between doing stuff that is kind of too small with the Capricorn energy into becoming much more expanded. So I like this March to May timeline for that reason. For Pluto, Mars leaves Gemini, okay? And Mars leaves Gemini and goes into Cancer, which is nice. And that is Mars and Cancer are kind of like masculine and feminine energy. So it goes from an air energy about thinking about doing it to doing something that really nurtures you. Using that Mars in Cancer is really about, I'm going to do things that are going to feed my soul. Okay, so that's going to be happening in the March to May timeframe. We have Saturn leaving Aquarius on March 7th and going back into Pisces, or going into Pisces, into Pisces. And that is a clash between fantasy and reality. So when all of these things are going on between March and May, I like it that Saturn leaves Aquarius and goes into Pisces. That feels pretty good to me. Pluto going into Aquarius. All of these are more innovative. Okay, more innovative energy. And also with that Mars going into Cancer, that does feel very, very nurturing to me. So I kind of like, with so much air energy here, we've got, Mercury, and we've got Mars is fire, Mercury is air, we've got all of these air, Gemini's air and everything. The only real earth stuff we have is this Saturn Capricorn, kind of like super heavy. So we're kind of wobbling between, I'm going to go back to the way I used to do things because it used to work. Not because it's good or it's bringing things forward or it's progressive or anything like that. It's because it used to work. But now with things in Aquarius, okay, when we have more Aquarian energy or Uranian energy, it's more about the adaptability. It's more about the way I'm going to change things, the way I'm going to bust through templates, the way I'm going to break paradigms and kicking at the traces, and no longer am I going to do things in the old-fashioned way. So you can see this is still going on. 2022, we had some interplay of this innovative energy. It was actually 2020 through 2022, this innovative energy where we had Saturn square Uranus, kind of going in and out of square, and square is like tension, difficult. So Saturn, hey, you eat your vegetables and go to bed in a reasonable hour. Hey, this is really difficult. So enjoy it. Enjoy the difficulty, the degree of difficulty. Uranus is going, screw that. I don't like this. I'm going to innovate this. So those two are opposite energies, and they've been squaring off for 2 years. All right. We are done with that. November into December of 2022, we are done with that, which is really nice that we no longer have that. But now we have this Pluto energy bouncing back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn. And that is sort of like the same thing, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So we have this Plutonic, like if for the past 2 years we were bouncing back and forth in a way of tension, that we were learning from tension, now we're going to be, the whole feeling of the energy is going to be either hunker down or big expanse. It's not going to be the two squaring off against each other. So it'll be more like, oh, I'm in the energy of Capricorn, and then I'm in the energy of Aquarius. I like it because it's Pluto. And Pluto, as you know, is transformational energy. So it's bopping back and forth between, okay, today I'm going to try a traditional way of doing it, Capricorn, as opposed to, moves into Aquarius. All right, let's make new ideas. So you could see this a lot this year, depending on where it is in your chart, in your own birth chart. You could see a lot of this bouncing back and forth this year. And that might be something to pay attention to. Now, moving into July, one of the things I do want to talk about here, Venus is going retrograde in July, from July to September, in Leo, which is a little sad to me, because if you are looking, I would not personally get married when Venus is in retrograde, especially in Leo, okay? Because it's just like the opposite of fun and sexy and joyful and, interesting. It's more sullen. energy. Okay. So Venus in retrograde in Leo this summer. If you're planning on getting married, just know that you can use the energy. In fact, let's pull a card here on this. With the Venus retrograde in Leo, you can, from July to September, how can you use this energy best for you? Queen of Cups. So we're going to stay in our heart. Obviously, we're talking about love. Oh, so this is a good time to heal a broken heart. Okay, and to be very mindful, I got Queen of Cups and the Four of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Be careful about becoming too sullen about a broken heart. Be careful about being like, love is dead to me, or I'm going to become the Queen of Swords. Be careful about becoming embittered during this time. If somebody has treated you badly, be careful about that. You want to heal the heart and you want to be protective of your heart, but you don't want to be crusty, or like a Queen of Swords can be in a negative way, which is very sharp and not at all loving. All right. So just be mindful of that. We have Venus going retrograde in July in Leo, and that'll last to September. Right. So, where's my Venus? Yeah. 22nd of July going retrograde, and then the 3rd of September, it'll go direct. So just know, okay, just know that that's going. The other thing I wanted to talk about today, I think this is the fourth thing, but I might have said many more than four. The North Node moves into Aries in July of 2023. So I made a whole video and posted it on the 23rd of December. I'm going to put a little link to that video and about what it means. And I talked about the eclipses. I also talked about North Node in every house and in every sign and how it might be impacted by this shift. So if you want to catch that, it's a deeper video. I'll put that right there. And that's a big deal. So we have the eclipses. New moon, April 19th. Okay, April 19th. And then the full moon, the 5th of May. So that's the first set of eclipses. This year they are in Libra and Aries. So I'll do more of those as we get closer. And then the new moon, 14 October, full moon, 28 October. These are the eclipses for this year. And the eclipses, as I talk about in that video, in that long video about North Node, your North Node, the signs of North Node, the axes this year is Libra and Aquarius. So it's about me versus we. It's about the relationship. Since North Node's in Aries, it's about our independence. It's going to be about that for the collective in 2023. Okay. Meaning the South Node is in Libra, and the South Node in Libra can be diplomacy. It can be us getting along, or learning to get along, or trying to get along, or employing the energy of getting along. And for those of us who have too much of that Libra energy, who really go along to get along, or are in a space of being, I'm going to say, not wishy-washy, but it can happen that way. People-pleasing and stuff, it can be negative that way. You're really going to be pushed in a direction of speaking up for what you believe in and what you want to do, standing up for yourself, taking action on your goals, very Aries energy. So you'll look for that, and the eclipses activate that new energy. So 19th of April is the first eclipse, 19th of April, 5th of May, 14th October, 28th of October. These time periods are going to really activate. Eclipse is activating energy. All right, so watch out for that. If you have North Node in Aries, if you have Aries or Libra, or South Node in Aries or Libra, this is going to especially impact you this year. It is going to activate your karmic path and mission. That's why I did that video. I also have done a lot of other North Node videos, and I have a North Node class. So I'll put that all in the description box if you want to jump onto those things and learn more about yourself. Also in my Pathfinders group, we talk quite a lot about North Node. People ask me about their placements, and I kind of help you work through it. So if you want to be part of Pathfinders, in order to ask questions and do things in 2023, now's a good time to join. So that happens, and as we're getting into 2023 energy, I do feel a lightening. Like a lightening of the energy. I do feel a more balanced because of that Aries and Libra, because of us moving out of this Scorpio and Taurus energy. Scorpio and Taurus. We've been in the North Node Taurus, wow. North Node Taurus, South Node Scorpio since the beginning of 2022. And it makes sense to me that 2022 was the way it was, because we are moving away when something's in our South Node as a collective. We move away from this scorpionic energy of deep secrets or being kind of scrutinizing people and maybe even feeling a little bit paranoid about what other people are doing. Are they doing it to attack me? There has been a fair amount of that. If you grab onto that Scorpio energy in the South Node, it can be a very low vibrational scorpionic energy. It's transformational no matter what. Scorpio is transformational no matter what. But it's like, do you want to do it the hard way or the easy way? And the easy way with Scorpio is embracing transformation and moving toward that Taurus axis, right? It's the sign across the hall from Scorpio. North Node is in Taurus, which is about what do I value? What's important to me? And creating transformation around that instead of just random transformation for no apparent reason or because of other people. I feel like Scorpio, the lower vibration of Scorpio can be very, like I said, paranoid about other people, super private, even to the point of anger, territorial, combative, but like competitive, I think is a good word. That's a lower vibration of Scorpio. Higher vibration of Scorpio is enjoying the path, enjoying the transformational journey. And so those are things in the South Node that we as a collective have accomplished. So we need to go toward that North Node of, okay, I'm only going to do stuff that is aligned with my mission and purpose. Okay, aligned with what I value. So we still have 6 months of this energy in the beginning of 2023. So you're going to need to review that. Before we move on to Aries and Libra, you're going to need to review, have you been able to empower yourself to go towards Taurus, to take care of your money, to take care of the things you care about, insurance, other people's inheritances, or dealing with the things that nobody likes to deal with, taxes and things like that. Have you done that in this 18-month span? Have you gotten things right? Because if 2022 was a right sizing, woo, like if you're dropping from a high place, it feels super scary. If you're coming from a low place, it feels empowering. So now that we're kind of balanced, and ironically enough, we're moving into that North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, which is the balancing. And Aries is like, okay, now that I'm balanced, I can strike out. I'm empowered, okay, to take action on what I want. So this is what's going on for us in 2023. Those are kind of the big things. And as always, I will be doing, readings around the full moon and the new moons. I'll be talking more about these retrogrades. Let me list them for you before we stop this video, because if you want to know what's going retrograde in 2023, it's good to know. So Mars ends its retrograde on 12th of January in 2023, and Mars only goes retrograde every 2 years. So we won't have another retrograde of Mars this year. Mercury obviously is going to be retrograde 4 times this year, usually 3, but since it's jumping over from December 29th this year to January of 2023, that means we're going to have a retrograde 21 April, 23rd August, and 12th December. Those are the retrogrades, the Mercury retrogrades for this year. Venus is going retrograde 22nd July. And that lasts for about 42 days. It's going direct on the 3rd of September. Mars, before I get into this, Mercury retrograde only lasts about 23 days. Okay. Venus retrogrades last for 42 days. Mars, like I said, is going direct on 12th January, so we don't have to worry about that. Jupiter is going retrograde the 4th of September, and that's in Taurus, and it's going to go direct on the 30th of December. So that's about 117 days where Jupiter is in retrograde, and that's in Taurus, so pay attention to that. We have Saturn retrograde 17 June in Pisces, and it goes direct the 4th of November. So about 139 days Saturn retrogrades. Uranus. Oh, yes, it does. Okay, so Uranus is going direct on 22 January of 2023. So we have been in a Uranus retrograde since the 24th of August. And now Uranus is going direct on the 22nd of January. So that's another reason that January will now be picking up at the end, because it's been in retrograde 151 days. And Uranus, as you know, is innovative energy. So with Mars in retrograde in early 2023 and Uranus, been hard to act. It's been hard to think about innovative ideas. And just know that at the end of January, things will be evening out for that. We have another Uranus retrograde starting the 28th of August and going direct the 26th of January in 2024. So that's later. Again, it's about 151 days that Uranus stays retrograde. Neptune is going into retrograde the 30th of June in Pisces, and it will go direct on the 6th of January, also in Pisces. That's 158 days of retrograde. Now keep in mind, Neptune and Pluto and Uranus are super far out. And so they are really the longest retrogrades. They're the slowest moving planets too. So what I said, Neptune is the 30th of June, going direct on the 6th of December. And then we have Pluto going retrograde in Aquarius the 1st of May. And it bounces back into Capricorn, okay? And then it goes direct in October. There's a lot of, like I said, the play of Pluto going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius is going to be a big deal this year. And then we have Chiron retrograde 23rd of July going direct the 26th of December. So we just had Chiron the other day go direct. So we are now Chiron direct, which is awesome. And that's still in December of 2023. So those will all be milestones that I'll be talking about more as we get into the year. And I will be doing I will be giving each of the signs a little bit of a heads up about what it's going to look like for them. So pay attention this week. I'll be putting up little videos about for each of the signs and how to navigate some of 2023's most potent retrogrades and planetary movements. Okay. All right. One thing I do want to say, I will end this video with Jupiter moving into Taurus in May. So if this March and the March through May time period is going to be very expansive and powerful, especially for Sagittarians, right? That's what I'll talk about in each one of those videos. I'll give you a heads up as to what your sign is going to be really touched by a lot in 2023. So Jupiter moves into Taurus. This will really expand your luck and your money. So if your Jupiter is very powerful in your chart, like if you're a Sagittarius sun sign, Jupiter's your ruling planet. If you have Sagittarius as a rising sign, that means Jupiter rules your whole chart. Okay? The rising sign's planetary ruler is the ruler of the whole chart. Okay? So if you have a Sagittarius rising, Jupiter is going to be very powerful for you. So May 16th, circle that in red on your calendar. That is going to be a beautiful moment where Jupiter moves into Taurus for you. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about those things. Jupiter was also the natural ruler of Pisces back in the day. So if you feel an affinity for the May 16th thing and you're a Pisces, that's good, because I think Pisces might be having some challenges this year. Just a little bit of a teaser for some of these other videos. I'm just going to record them as audios, okay? So you can just listen to them like little tiny podcasts. All right, so that's the big look ahead to 2023, some of the major transits going on. And we'll do more of these videos. If you like these kinds of videos, please comment, like, subscribe, share. That tells YouTube that you want more of this content. Okay? That tells YouTube to please give me more of that. Give me some more Mary Jo doing astrology or astrology forecasting, or whatever you want to call this video. I think it's astrology forecasting. All right, so little cards for the collective here on 2023 in general. All right, 2023 in general. Let's see where we go. A few cards. So, okay, I'll do it this way. Okay, you just go with it. So, showing up as the Seven of Swords. Be careful about not being direct. I think this could be a good year to hone your communication skills and understand how you're coming across. Also, if you have things you want changed, I think it's a better plan to be more straightforward about it. If you're showing up as the Seven of Swords, that says to me that you might be trying to get away with something, or you're feeling like you're entitled to get away with something because somebody did something to you, and so this is tit for tat, which I don't think is a healthy energy. The situation is the Queen of Cups. So a little more compassion for yourself and for other people. That's going to be an important part of 2023. I also feel like the Queen of Cups is looking at that Seven of Swords like, this is a year of taking no bullshit. Okay? If you have people who are lying or going behind your back or doing something, it's important for you to protect your heart with people, but still be able to be present in relationships. Don't run away from them. Be more direct about what you feel and what you need. Sometimes saying what we need can be a challenge for people. So do better at that this year. Eight of Pentacles is the opportunity. If you are going to really key in on that Saturn, Uranus, Capricorn, Aquarian energy that's going to be loud this year, you're going to need to change up the way you're working. You're going to need to sometimes put hard hours and effort, and sometimes just innovate, right? You need to go back and forth between these two things. So once you have an idea, you need to implement it. Okay? So ideas are Aquarian energy, and Capricorn energy is doing the effort, making the effort, okay, to make things happen. It's going to require both of those things. If you don't have a good idea, what are you implementing? And if you just are implementing, what are you implementing? And if you're not having any ideas, okay? Outcome is the Ace of Wands. So we're definitely going to be facilitating new ideas, new beginnings, getting inspired. Get inspired for 2023. That's the Ace of Wands, baby. Get inspired. All right. So there we go. That's cool. I'll do one more card here just for an overarching energy of 2023 for us. Guidance from Spirit about it. Yeah. Even more reason to get inspired. A breakthrough is at hand. All right, you guys, there you go. I hope that was a helpful video for you. Again, like I said, if you want more of these videos, hit like, subscribe, and share. Put a comment in there. Let me know. Yes, please. Yes, please. And I will do more of these videos. All right. Much love. Happy holidays. I'll see you soon.